All right, so here we have an old school Kodak camera. These are not worth anything, so we're gonna go open it up and see what we can do. We're going to do it with a hatchet rather than do with the precision screwdrivers. And we're gonna pop it apart and see what we find. So here was the internal battery for the recharge. That is, well, nope, that's a capacitor. I'm sorry. So that's the capacitor that will charge and recharge and discharge for the flash. So you remember your old cameras where you'd see a little light with the flash charging? That's what you were charging there. Now here, we're going to get further into it. You can see the flash bulb I just ripped out. But we opened this up to see what kind of cool stuff we could find on these old control boards. This thing's probably from the 90s. So, older tech. So, here we have our display screen out. We have the ribbon cable there, gold-plated pins. Gold-plated pins. There's going to be, let's see if I can open this for you. You can see we got all our glass. It's just like a TV in here. This is glass, so just be careful doing it with your bare hands if you're going to play. And then here is the little bit of a gold ribbon cable strip. And then this guy. And you guys, when I show you these things, I mean, this is a penny. Maybe. I mean, a fraction of a penny. We're not doing it just for that. We're doing it for fun. Now, gold-plated, 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 gold-plated. All of this stuff to refine takes a good bit of effort and knowledge, and we'll maybe eventually build a silver cell and a gold cell, but there are better people than I doing it. So if you end up with that kind of stuff, you need to know what to do with it. Message me and I'll tell you who I ship my stuff to. And, you know, in the thousands of dollar range, so it's someone you can trust. Now, a lot of this, let's scratch it up and see what our mask is. So the mask is this layer over it. Now, all these things, though, are going to be a copper or gold thing. Now you can, let me see if I can get that better for you. Can you make out the copper, Brian? See it right there, how it's copper colored? There you go. That's copper underneath all of these for its circuits. Here's the battery that remembered the date and time and all of that stuff in there. Just cut it out. You can buy, some of those batteries do have silver in them. There are people that refine it. Now with this, a lot of times what people would do is they would come in and just snip out the gold components. So they're only putting what they actually want in their bath as opposed to wasting it on all these, on the whole board. And you got to be careful. Some people just throw the whole thing in. Some people will run it through a ball mill to crunch all this up. And then also under these IC chips, a lot of times there can be stuff hidden. That one's copper underneath there, so nothing major. That one looks like some silver. So you would take this and you would get what you wanted off of it in the terms of precious metal, and then you would ship that off to refine it. So let's see what we can find just with this guy right here. Now, you have your little viewfinder that looks straight through, not through the lens like an SLR. A couple wire harnesses, and we'll just give this a smack. Open up that lens assembly. lot of what you're doing is removing stuff so you can process the least amount as possible and end up with the most amount of value. Now the plastic, unfortunately, usually does just hit the landfill because you can't always find a place to recycle this stuff. We've looked into doing plastic blocks out of it and some other things that you might see us turn to in the future. We're always expanding and doing different things. So give this one more good hit. And in there, we just have the little copper that controlled the little pop-out motor that came in and out with that lens, and then a little bit of a lens. So, you know, you can see here that's not worth doing a lot of this, but it's ultimately either going to rot in a landfill or get shipped overseas to do this in, unfortunately, a lot of open air burning. So if you want to play with it at home, you are helping the environment. So that's what's in here, and we'll jump to our next video.